do I get it yet? I wanna set an example, but I'm not sure I can handle all my demons. I'm thinking that I should court a vet. I fight for all respect. I'm working overtime to keep in my head. I understand I'll get the love when I'm dead, so my focus is red. Choose the black out on what's keeping me chosen. I've been the token, now the back is the head. On my soapbox, chucking.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is Georgia, Carolina, your gated and discrimination-free community where we personalize culture and entertainment and then curate a conversation that's based on self-discovery and growth. I am your pop culture coordinator of all things inclusion and awareness, Jorden Renee, and I'm happy to have you back for another video. All right, everybody, so we're back, day 2, part 2 for the Q&A, and I want to appreciate all of you guys for coming back. I want to thank everybody for submitting questions. I'm really grateful for it. Where we started off was, where we left off rather, was we were talking about what I was doing before this YouTube channel specifically, and I was talking about how I was a professional dancer, choreographer. I had a YouTube channel before this that I turned into a podcast, and I did 50 episodes of that. In the midst of that, I was also doing drag under the moniker Melanie Monroe, and then eventually Shantae Arnett, and that led me into pursuing music full time. And so in the midst of all of that going on, I started writing and working on my first mixtape, Informed Opinions Unmastered, right? And that is one of the pieces of work that, out of everything that I've done from both YouTube channels, the podcast, that is one of the pieces that I'm most proud of because it's most encompassing of me as a person. There's multi levels to me in that project, from my musical interest to my beat selection to me as a songwriter to the things that I'm writing about to, you know, all of that put together in one project. There's so many layers of me in that, so I'm really proud of that. Not to mention, the whole thing is a project that is advocacy. It is a love letter to queer people of color. And so the fact that I was able to put out what I consider to be a political statement that was also a bop, is, you know, that makes me really happy because at the end of the day, we all know that music is the root of who I am as a person. And so, like, if I'm going to be doing anything in the world, music is always going to have some sort of root in it. So that's where we left off. And moving on to the next question. What do you like to do besides advocacy and YouTube? Well, this is gonna kind of be a lot of the same answers. I'm still a dancer, so I still dance every day. I work out every single day, but I offset different things that I do. So like some days I do yoga, some days I do kickboxing, some days I do jump rope, but I pretty much dance every single day. So that is one of the things that I incorporate most into my life when I'm not on YouTube or out, you know, in these advocacy streets. I also watch a lot of YouTube because I spend the most of my time there on YouTube. I think that the content that I consume on YouTube is more directly catered to my specific interest, and me not having to kind of look for television shows that give me, you know, bits and pieces of what I need. I can kind of just go and watch things that are directly related to my interests. And so I watch a lot of just specific direct to consumer content. Next question is, have you ever performed your music live? That's a yes and a no question, because I have performed like rap freestyles that I've written live before. And, you know, that was a thing, but I've never performed my actual music that I have released on streaming services live. There was going to be a time where I was going to be doing that, but, you know, the Carry On a 19 and a half happened and all hell broke loose. So, you know, all the things of the things got shifted to the things of the things, and then the things of the things became the things that never were. So what inspired your channel then versus now, and is there a difference? When I first started the channel, it was really about like me kind of doing my own version of those like those talking head chat shows that you would see on like VH1, like Girl Code, Guy Code, I Love the Whatever Decade, and just like those type of shows where you see these random people who you kind of know, you may know their face, you may have seen them on something else, and they're just spitting these random facts and opinions about just random things in pop culture. And I wanted to be one of those people because I was one of those people who loved just random facts about pop culture, just talking about pop culture. And if I could be on television and get paid to do it, then that was an absolute win for me. So it really is inspired by like those type of shows, as well as I grew up, this is one of the things that is really interesting about me. One of the jobs that I always wanted growing up was I wanted to be like a critic, like a music and movie critic, like the people who write the reviews of movies, restaurants, albums, television shows, those type of things. I wanted to be one of those people. So me having a YouTube channel was also another direct line into doing that. So it's kind of like my own way of like, well, it was at the time, my own way of like doing like direct critiques and like having my own column and doing those type of things. So that was a big part of it. And also, what is the big inspiration for the initial part of my channel is John Waters' commentary on the Mommy Dearest Hollywood Royalty DVD release. I could sit and watch John Waters talk about Mommy Dearest while Mommy Dearest is playing and never watch the movie and be just satisfied. Like, the way that conversation where he just sat and talked about the movie for the entire run of the movie, it was just so entertaining to me. And I don't know if it was just commentaries in general, because I've watched other commentaries and I didn't really get it didn't hit the same as the kids say nowadays. But it's something about John Waters' specific commentary on Mommy Dearest. It just stuck with me. And like, I was like, if I can do that, like if I can just talk about things that I like or talk about things that are popular in pop culture and really have an impact on people like that to where they just want to hear me talk about shit, that's what I want to do with my life. I don't know what that's called. I guess it's just a personality. But that's really like what I've always wanted to do, was like, and those avenues of doing that was like being a critic, you know, being on those chat shows, but I wasn't a stand-up comedian. So like, you know, it's all of those things, but you live and you learn and you figure it out. And then but all of that led me to YouTube. Now, mind you, that isn't exactly what inspires my YouTube channel today. Today, my channel is really bigger than me and my opinions. It's more so me kind of stating the plights of the disenfranchised and minorities and, you know, people whose voices are silenced in one way or another, me kind of bringing light to those issues as they move me to chorus. So it's more so about the bigger picture and more so about the people than it is about me. I'm more so just a vessel, and this channel is more so just a vessel to deliver the light to those issues as they move me specifically. So I think what inspires me now is just having more to say, and me engaging in those lighthearted pop culture conversations and having these deeper perspectives that I want to engage in, and knowing that it's probably gonna be like more detrimentally received than it's worth, or like it's just not like it's like there's a place and time for everything. And sometimes you just don't want to be the woke girl in the room who like is gonna be looked at as the party pooper, or the one that pops the balloon in the room, because you want to bring the seriousness and bring the energy down. So I just go and facilitate those opinions and those observations to the people who want to hear me talk about them. And just, you know, like I said, direct to consumer content, you know, for the people who want to hear me talk about certain things, you have a platform to hear me directly talk about those things without having me or my opinions infringe on other things that you may want to consume. Do you get me? So, that's the biggest difference. When and or where do you feel happiest, most free, most authentically yourself? this I can break down into 3 different answers. Once again, I can answer each part of that question. Where do I feel my happiest? When I'm recording music. When I'm creating music, when I'm recording music, I am my happiest. When I'm creating choreography, that is when I'm my happiest. When I'm just fully being my fully authentic self, when I am fully engaged in the maximum capacity of my creativity from a musical perspective, that's when I'm my happiest. Now, when I feel my most free is when I'm on stage, when I'm physically performing for other people who are just taking it all in and feeling all of the things that I'm bringing to the stage and really like just ingesting the hard work that I put into the performance. I think that is when I feel my most free, when I can just let it go and just leave it on the stage and just let my heart fall out of my belly button and just let it happen. And the freedom that I feel when I step on stage, when that music starts, something takes over me. You go into a trance and it's a whole nother experience. And you know, some people call it their Sasha Fierce or, you know, their alter egos or, you know, whatever the case may be. But I just haven't named mine, I guess. It's just something about it that is electric and it's hypnotizing and it's enchanting. And once you get that high of getting on stage and really being your most self and really feeling that feeling, I know there's a valid reason why people don't ever want to let it go. So. Now, when I feel my most myself is when I'm in nature, when I'm outside. I think because I am just in my own space, in space. If that makes sense, like I don't have to worry about how I appear to the world. I'm in nature. Nothing is perfect and everything is perfect in nature. Do you get what I mean? Everything has flaws and everything is exactly the way that it's supposed to be in nature. And I feel like when I'm in nature, I get to connect to that. And I get to really fine tune and connect with myself as a being and settle in the fact that I'm not perfect, but I am just the way that I'm supposed to be. And it allows me to just breathe and experience myself as myself without any form of enhancement or alteration for the betterment of my presentation to a specific group or type or mass of people. So nature is when I feel most myself. I love this question so much. You're on the road to success and you come to a fork in the road. One leads to your passion, but it's wrought with hardship the entire way. And the other leads to a content life, but you'll never have peace or satisfaction, but will always be stable. What do you choose? I don't think I have a choice in this question. I think I said this in part 1 where I said that I have a visceral, integral gut desire to be an artist and be creative and engage that side of me, that my happiness is dependent on that. Do you get what I mean? I think that my creativity is directly connected to my mental health and me not only being creative, but engaging that with advocacy and activism at the same time. I think that those are two pieces of the same whole. I think activism and entertainment are two parts of my heart, if you will. And so being able to combine those type of things with forums like my YouTube channel, it's a big fucking deal. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like in saying that, I'm also choosing a path that is very very hard. Like, I'm choosing a path where I'm just building my own audience, and it's based on not only just me as a personality. Like, I have no, studio telling you that I'm great. There's no record label that's putting money into me telling you to listen to me. There's no algorithm that's pushing me to you that I know of. If it is, thank y'all. Appreciate you, YouTube. But it's really like me building a true organic fan base, especially when we talk about the base and foundation of what my content is built on. I'm talking about things that are integrally and instinctually hard conversations to have. So when we start having these conversations about, am I choosing a hard way, or like what I would choose, I'm naturally choosing the hard way to go about it, because I am fighting the fight to have my own structure within the entertainment industry, but defined under my own integrity and dignity and my own creative control. And I'm not fighting for a seat at the table. I'm just building my own table and doing it exactly the way that I want to do it. And I think that there's another level of power in that is more satisfying than just being stable but not being content or not being peaceful. I think that I find peace in the revelation that even though it may take me longer to get where I need to be, and it may be a harder road to get there, it is a more satisfying and gratifying thing knowing that I am making it happen on my own merit and on my own terms, and I'm choosing not to sacrifice. I'm choosing not to compromise. I'm choosing stupid. Sorry. Every time I hear the word compromise, I think about the kid. And that's going to be like, I'm going to figure out a way to turn that into a monologue. And that's going to be one of my next monologues. Don't think I forgot, because I want to get back into doing monologues too. I'm definitely going to do the opening from Two Can Play That Game as a monologue too. Anyway, in saying that, I don't think I could choose something that wouldn't bring me peace. I think that that's why I am in the entertainment industry in the first place, because I know that it's not a guaranteed industry. I know that I'm taking a gamble just by stepping into the entertainment industry. But the fact of the matter is that my creativity is the foundation of my mental health. So if I'm not doing something creative that in turn is participant in the entertainment industry in whatever type of way, there's no way that I'm going to be happy. There's no way that I'm going to be peaceful. There's no way that I'm going to be able to be okay with that. So, for me, those wires are too aligned with each other to actually split them into that fork in the road for me. So it's going to be the hard way all the way, especially because taking the hard way and doing it this way is preparing me for all of the greatness and all of the tests that are going to come with that greatness later on. I think that I take the phrase new levels, new devils seriously. So the more that I grow and the more that I continue to elevate and, craft this into an equitable and, valuable entity, I think that it's just going to make me better. And I don't think getting there easily is going to give me what I need to stay there. So I would rather take the long way and learn I would rather take the long way to longevity than take the short way to 15 minutes of fame. If that makes sense. What is the greatest hardship of your life currently? Have you overcome it? If so, how? And how has it molded your path? I think that my greatest hardship is not knowing myself enough to love myself properly. I think that because my greatest hardship is not knowing how to love myself and reconciling how I navigate not just my personal life, but the world with that revelation and knowing that. Because my history and the traumas that I've experienced growing up and the things that I've been through growing up, they say that we're all just a summation of our experiences and we are what we've been through. So the damage mentally that my life has had on me, it's kind of taken me a really long time to figure out that just because I can acknowledge positive attributes about myself, that is not self-love. And so I am now trying to figure out who I am and what I love about myself outside of being able to dance, being able to write music, you know, having a successful YouTube channel, which is not successful, but being able to have a YouTube channel that people want to watch and have enough entertainment value for 700 some odd people to be subscribed to my channel right now. I consider that to be a personal success, because I've never had that many people subscribe to a YouTube channel at once. You know what I'm saying? I've never had these type of numbers on a YouTube channel before. So all of this is a success, because this is a step up from what I was doing on my old channel. Do you get what I'm saying? So like, this is the biggest YouTube channel that I've ever had. So I take pride in that. And, you know, the more that I put into it, I think that it's teaching me that I am worth loving. But it's hard for me to reconcile that personally outside of my accolades or accomplishments or the things that I can be rewarded for. Like, I'm trying to figure out how to love myself just based on me and not who I can be seen as, or who I can be remembered as, or what legacy can I leave, or how many people can I impact, or what people will have to say about me or my art or the things that I created or left. And I don't know the answers to that. So no, I haven't overcome it because I don't have those answers. And I'm still on that journey, and I'm still trying to figure that out, because like I keep saying, my creativity is the foundation to my mental health. And so it becomes a catch-22, and it becomes this paradox of how do you value yourself outside of your creative output. And if the creative output, because mind you, you're going into an industry that is not just instant gratification. You're not gonna make everybody happy. Not everybody is gonna love your content, and you're not gonna come out and instantly do the things that you want to do. So how do you reconcile the fact that your sanity damn near is based on your creativity, and when that becomes, now when your passion becomes a part of your paycheck, and that becomes a part of your livelihood, that also becomes another sector of your mental health. So when you don't get the reception that you feel like you maybe should or you want to get, how does that affect your perception of yourself? When you see your numbers not doing what you maybe want them to do. Do you get what I'm saying? Which is why I say that I have to take the numbers that I have now as a personal success, because they are the biggest numbers that I've ever had on a YouTube channel before. I've had more than one channel before. I've had one that was, you know, just about advocacy and activism, and then one that was just about my drag, and I've never had this amount of numbers before. So I have to look at it that way to keep myself sane and not drive myself into a spiral. Because if I think about it like, oh, I'm not, you know, getting to monetization as fast as I want to. Oh, I'm not getting my first 1,000 subscribers, my first 10,000 subscribers, whatever. And it's not even about the numbers for me as far as flexing and saying, oh, I have 10,000 subscribers. Oh, I have this many subscribers. For me, it's about working as hard as I can to get to that next promotion at my job so that I can make more money to provide for my family and to, you know, put more into the craft and the art and, you know, all the things that I'm doing, and to truly fulfill myself as a human being. It's not about the flex for me. It's about the more successful I am, the more that I can create my own peace around me, the more that I can build my own world around me. And so I can truly
live my life in the most positive quality possible, in the most peaceful quality possible. Like for me, it's not about being famous. It's about the best quality of life that I can achieve for me and for what I want for my life. Do you get what I mean? Not to say that I have to be rich to do that, but I do want to be able to be comfortable and make an adequate amount of living, especially for the life that I want to live. Not that it's an extravagant lifestyle, but I'll get more into that later. That's another video, but I think that is what I'm trying to figure out. That is my hardest obstacle, is trying to separate loving myself as a human being and loving myself as an individual outside of loving myself as an entity and somebody who is trying to become a profitable business and a brand and all of those things. I'm trying not to tie those two things together, because that, I am finding, is very damaging to my mental health, and it's very emotionally tolling. So yeah, working on that. Okay. Feelings about the passing of your best friend. You've stayed so quiet about it, and I've never really heard you express your feelings on that. So not only do I want to check and make sure that you're okay, but I wanted to give you the opportunity to truly express how you feel without any judgment. Thank you. I appreciate that. How I feel about the passing of Alex is I'm still hurt. I still don't understand. I still feel guilty. I'm still angry. And I feel another layer of guilt because I'm angry. You know, here's the thing that people may or may not know. Like, Alex was not just my best friend, right? Like, I posted this on his birthday, and I said to my platonic soulmate, right? Because, like I said, I'm a woman of energy and I live off of love. I don't need a lot of money to be happy, but what I do need is love and community and family and, you know, fellowship and that type of stuff. Like, that's what I need to be happy. We don't have to be living in a mansion, but I do want a family. Do you know what I mean? So Alex was the closest thing to a twin flame that I've ever had. And I've been told that your twin flame doesn't have to be romantic. And I think that is definitely, like, I think Alex was, if not the other half, a part of my soul. Because I've never had in my life anyone on this earth make me feel so understood. Like, no one has ever cared enough to take the time to truly understand me. No one has ever truly had the intentions of providing the safe space for me to effectively communicate my emotions so that they could grow with me. Alex was that for me, and I was that for Alex. Like, there was such a synergy in our souls as beings, because as much as we were alike, we were completely different as people. Like, we were completely different as people, but those differences also contributed to how much alike we were, because from our own perspectives and coming from two completely different points of view, we would always lead back to this very similar perspective on life and things, and, you know, all these different type of situations. So you know, he was more than my best friend. You know what I'm saying? Like we were it's the closest thing to a twin that I'm ever gonna have. Like I literally, like, I can't say that I specifically understand what identical twins feel when they say that twin telepathy, but that is what me and Alex had. Like, that's the close, like, I don't know what else to analogize that with, as we were kindred spirits. Like, we truly had a connected soul. Like, there was soul ties without there being anything sexual involved, because we were never anything intimate. Like I said, I've been with my husband since 2011. So you know, we met each other in relationships. Like, it's never been anything like that. We've never looked at each other like that, ever. Even though everyone around us thought that we were dating, but that's just because our energy is so connected. Like, it's like a married couple and a brother and sister and identical twins all put together at the exact same time and functioning so well, like a well-oiled machine. Like, we were so great. Now, mind you, as twins, as siblings, as best friends, we fought and argued and disagreed, just like any other, you know, pair of people do. But the difference is, I've never argued with anybody like I've argued with Alex. Like, we were the type of people who, we may disagree, but we're gonna sit there and we're gonna debate it, and we're gonna debate it, and we're gonna debate it, and we're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna go back and forth with our feelings and try to make each other understand and try to understand each other's perspectives as much as we can, until we can figure out how to come to some sort of common ground on this. Even if we agree to disagree, but we understand where each other is coming from, but that's just not how we feel about it. We've always, like, we've never given up on each other. Do you get what I mean? We've never given up on each other. And so, to that point, I will never understand how he was able to give up on himself, but not able to give up on me. Like, Alex has literally saved me from taking my own life twice. Like, quite literally. Not like talked me off a ledge when I was, you know, manic and I was just, oh my God. Like, no, I'm talking about physically saved me. Physically saved me twice. You know, and so we had a literal blood pact. Like, we took a blood oath to each other that we were gonna ride this thing out together, and we weren't gonna let each other go through the rest of our lives alone, as long as we are able to prevent it. And so I'm like, you know, the history that I have with my family, you know, my abandonment issues, you know, my people issues, and like my social issues, and my agoraphobia, and, you know, my lack of ability to truly engage with people because I am so shell-shocked by, you know, the traumas of my past, that I am socially awkward and I'm socially fucked up. So I just don't understand how he could do that. Do you get me? Like, I just don't understand. And I'm angry because I feel like he abandoned me, just like everybody else in my life has. Like, everybody that was supposed to be there is not there. And now he's one of those people. And I hate that I think of him and am angry, because I think of him like I think of people who I have so much negative energy for, or I have like this, just, I don't know how to break away from that, because I'm so hurt. And at the same time, I have an extreme amount of guilt, because what was I just like I'm angry at him because he didn't fulfill his end of our contract, I'm trying to figure out what was I doing to not fulfill my end of our contract, to make him feel like he couldn't come to me, to make him feel like our bond and our allegiance and our alliance, as we used to call it, we used to say that we're in the perfect alliance against the world. I just don't understand why. What was I doing wrong? Why was I what was I doing to not be there? What was I doing to not be the friend that you needed, to be the brother that you needed, to be the sister that you needed? What was I doing wrong? And why couldn't we have that conversation about it? Like, we talked the day before. Why couldn't you tell me that you needed me the day before? Why couldn't you tell me? Like, we made a date the day before. Like, we talked about going to one of our favorite thrift stores the day before. Mind you, this was the middle of COVID. Carry on a 19 and a half. Sorry. This was this was the beginning of the Ponderosa. You know what I'm saying? This is 2020. This is April of 2020. I just wish I could have been a better friend. I wish I could have been a better sibling. I wish I could have been a better twin. I wish I could have been a better everything. Because I've never felt pain like this before. You know, I've been hurt. People have hurt me, you know, whatever, but I've never felt anything like this before. And I don't think I'll ever be, you know, healed of that. Like, I don't think wounds like that heal. You know, like, it's like, you know, scars like this that are on my knuckles that, yeah, they may not be bleeding, but they don't look the same. Like, my fingers will probably never look the same. I'll always have that reminder of, you know, that scar being there. And that reminder is Alex not being here. Like, it'll be, there'll always be a reminder in my life that something isn't right because Alex isn't here. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying my hardest not to be selfish. I'm trying my hardest not to make it about me and make their pain about me and what I could have done or what I should have, could have, would have done. But that is a person who I would have given my life for. If that would have made it better, I would have gladly. I don't know. You just don't find people that you're willing to give that much of yourself to and for. And so Alex, my husband, and my daughter are the only people I've ever felt that kind of uncontrollable, unconditional love for. And so, I don't know. I don't know how to heal from that, and I don't know how to tell anybody else to heal from that. So, that is what it is. With that being said, that was the last question. And so I hope that this has been entertaining for you. I hope that this is, you know, this has been a good video. I hope that you got to know me a little bit more. I hope that I've given you some insight to the type of person that I am and, you know, who I am as an individual, and, you know, you got to learn a little bit more about me. So I appreciate every single one of you for being here. I love you from the bottom of my green heart emoji. And yeah, so if you like the video, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all of the YouTube-y things. And If you have any more questions, if you want me to continue doing Q&As like this that are like deep dives into the things that you want to know about me, feel free to leave comments. Feel free to hit me on all of my social medias at Georgia Carolina, spelt exactly like the title of my channel, except there's no space in the middle. So yeah, I appreciate y'all. Until the next one, peace. Goodbye, aye, aye.